Hey guys, welcome back once again to The Horror with your hostess with the most, Jennifer, as always. Welcome back. So we are doing another movie review. Now this is going to be a movie that I have reviewed before. It's been quite some time, but it's one of those that I really wanted to kind of like revisit, re-review and everything, just because I've been doing YouTube for a little bit now, so I'm a little more comfortable with my reviews. But the movie that we are going to be discussing, if you couldn't tell by the title of this movie or whatnot, and that is the 1992 classic CandyMan. Yes, CandyMan. So this is interesting little movie, one done from Clive Barker. I don't think he directed it, but no, he didn't direct it, but I know he wrote it and stuff. Plus, this came from a short story that he did years before. Now, interesting about this movie, because, I mean, this is obviously, like I said, it came out in 1992. This is, you know, after the whole slasher craze and everything, in the middle of kind of when a lot of people feel like horror was dead at the time, which I kind of think a little differently. I know, you know, I definitely think that horror movies were in a little bit of a lull at the time, but there were definitely pre-Scream, post-slasher era in horror. I feel like there were some gems such as this. I feel like a lot of people now are really kind of appreciating some of those movies that came out during this period, during the early 90s, early to mid 90s, that we were all kind of realizing, like, wow, there's actually some really decent, good classics that came out during this era. This, in my opinion, being one of them. I know not everyone might agree with that. I respect that, but this one just is like, the story's so good. It is legitimately kind of like a creepy sort of story, I feel. Plus, it deals with one of my favorite subject matters, which is urban legends. And the Candyman is definitely sort of inspired by the Bloody Mary urban legend a little bit and stuff. And I know there were other factors for the story, but that's kind of like the most familiar sort of inspirations for this movie. Now, this movie does star Tony Todd and Virginia Madsen, and God, this movie is just brilliant. Tony Todd in this movie is brilliant, and anything he does, he's like pretty much brilliant. But it's kind of weird though, because like he's supposed to be this like evil myth and everything, this evil sort of figure, and just dark and will gut you like a fish, but I'll be honest, I think he's pretty sexy. Just saying. But I won't let him kiss me with any bees in his mouth. Speaking of the bees real quick, as I'm thinking about it, so those bees, yes, those were real bees that were roughly 12 hours or less old, so that way they would not have their little stingers, that way they would not sting at the inside of Tony Todd's mouth. But he did get stung like 23 times or something. He got stung a bunch of times because some of them did develop their little stingers and everything. But I think from memory serves, each time he got stung, he did get a pay raise. I think rightfully so. So, you know, that's a pretty good payday. I'm just saying. I would be like, let those damn bees sting me 150 times. I don't give a shit. Give me some more money, whatever. But no, I mean, that was a stunt that he did himself. Both Virginia and himself did themselves, so I give them props. Even with Virginia Madsen being like severely allergic to bees and everything, she still was a trooper and went through with that scene. So, but no, this one is just, I love this story. I think that's why I love it so much, and why this movie really does kind of hold up and stands the test of time, is because it does have a solid story. It has beautiful shots. Like, I was watching this within like the last week, 2 weeks or whatever, and it just, every time I watch this, and I watched this movie on a fairly regular basis. Not as much as like sleepaway camp or anything, but a pretty decent amount of times during the year. And it just every time I watch this movie, it always like the music to it is I think just so beautiful and haunting and fits the story well. And as even with the shots as I was just kind of mentioning, like the shots are just so incredibly beautiful. It just oh my god. Like I literally sometimes just watch it for the score and for the shots and stuff. So but no, it's a brilliant movie. Creepy story, like I said. Um, and I like that they do kind of keep the whole kind of like urban legend sort of like a running theme and everything. It's not just like a little quick introduction at the beginning and kind of are like, okay, well, we kind of established that, blah blah blah. But no, it's a decent one. And it's interesting because I feel like with Virginia Madsen, it's you can kind of almost like see it in a way where, did she really call upon this urban legend, and this urban legend is now like kind of attaching itself to this woman that called upon him and kind of like making an entity around her, or is she just like going batshit crazy from all the work and stuff that she's doing? You guys, I'm sorry. I can hear my dog right now, like barking up a storm. I'm sorry if you can hear him. I am so sorry. Hashtag a struggle with having a part bagel dog. But anyway, but no, like I was saying, you kind of like, you could kind of sit there and think, is she going totally crazy right now? Like, is this all in her head? Is this story, this myth, just totally getting to her and like she's becoming obsessed with this? And, even further, with like, is she going crazy? Like, is she just seeing this CandyMan in her head? Like, is she like schizophrenic or something? And is then turning around and killing these people when she thinks she isn't? Like, because that's the thing, like, she'll have like blackouts and stuff, and then she'll wake up and it's like, oh my god, there's a dog's head on the ground and there's blood everywhere. Is this my blood? Or like her friend comes over and she sees like she's tied up to the bed and stuff. Like, you're just like, did she really do this? Like, you almost feel like you're sort of going crazy with her a little bit because you're like, is she doing this or is this CandyMan doing this? Like, I don't know. And that's something that I like about it. Like, every time that I do watch it, I always have that kind of experience with it where, I kind of see from her side, like, wow, is she just going crazy? Like, no one believes her. And especially, too, because, like, you think, she's finally going to prove them wrong when she's in the psych ward after she, I was going to say after she kills her friend, but really it's CandyMan. That's, she's laying in the bed and everything, or she's tied up in the restraints and everything on the bed. Camera's watching her for observation, and you see CandyMan, kind of like come up, like over her and everything is hovering over her. You think like, oh my god, okay, they're finally gonna catch him and everything, and see that she's not totally crazy. And then like, when she kind of comes out of it and she's not so medicated and stuff, like, they show her the video back of like, okay, well, where's this CandyMan? And she's like, what? Even then too, it's kind of like, I think she even kind of questions, like, well, no, you guys, like, they can't be the same tape and stuff, so she's just growing even more paranoid about this, so, and then her husband, oh my god, let's bring up the husband right now, because that little prick deserved what he got at the end of that movie. I'm just saying, and I'm sorry, but little student of yours that you're, like, banging and shit, she ain't even that cute, and she's too much of a ditz. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry about that. I don't know why I keep saying sorry, but whatever. But no, I mean, you almost feel like the husband is almost kind of like happy that she's having like this total nervous breakdown, because now he has an excuse to like move in his little girlfriend and stuff. He's such a prick and everything. And I love that Virginia Madsen, even though she did die, she did end up getting her sort of like revenge and everything. And you know, gutting him like a fish. So I guess in a way, like, and I don't know if they were like trying to maybe set this up of her being like carrying on the franchise and stuff for her character because she comes back or whatever, almost in a Candyman-esque way and everything, and like I said, pretty much guts her husband and everything to get even and stuff because karma's a bitch and payback's a bitch. Just saying. But no, it's this is just such a great story and everything, just all around. Like, I mean, I know obviously this has like any movie, it has some flaws and everything, but I think it's so well done and so just it's a more it's a little bit more of an intelligent film, I should say. Like, I mean, and maybe too, I feel more this way because I just did, the Friday 13th, and those, you guys know kind of my thoughts on a lot of those, or on all those movies. So I think to be able to just have to like watch all that nonsense and just like know like character development, it's the same watered down formula. Then to be able to kind of like pop something like this in where it's just so much more sophisticated, and it's, in a sense, Candyman is basically a modern day slasher. It doesn't feel like a slasher movie. It definitely balances out perfectly with the slasher aspect and the psychological aspect, and I think that it works out very well in here. I think very few movies are able to really kind of execute that, especially in a horror movie. So, but yeah, if you guys have not seen this, at least the first one, it's been ages since I've seen the sequels. I think there's 2 sequels. I don't remember liking the sequels as much, but it's been forever since I've watched them. But if you have not seen this first one, at least check out this first movie and everything, this first Candyman. It is brilliant. I feel like it has aged very well, in my opinion, even though it was set in 1992. But yeah. And by the way, just so you guys know too, if you guys are ever wondering, like, oh god, I wonder if Cabrini Green was really ever that bad. Yeah, it was. Like, you would not go around there. I'm pretty sure people still do not go around Cabrini Green, and it's been torn down for like 25 years. Like, no joke. So, in case you guys are ever like, oh, it can't be that bad at Cabrini Green. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Just saying. But no, check it out. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Do you guys love this movie? Hate it? What things about this movie did you enjoy, hate, whatnot? And let me know too, you guys, for those of you who have seen the sequels and stuff, especially more recently than me, what are your thoughts on the sequels to this, Candyman, Feral to Flesh, and Candyman, I don't even know what the third one's called. I don't know, Candyman 3. But no, let me know what you guys think of the series and everything. And better yet, let me know, you guys, do you think, blah, 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 do you guys think, because I know we're still getting, like, remakes of things, it's died down a little bit, but, what do you guys think? Like, do you think that they are going to ever remake Candyman? Do you think this deserves a remake, or do you think, like, no, it's one of the few that has not been remade, leave it alone? Let me know. You guys know I'm like, don't do it. But let me know what you guys think. All your thoughts on Candyman and all things Candyman. Till next time, you guys, as always, thank you for letting me express my mind about a movie. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.